When Atlanta's housing authority started demolishing these properties, it was a first. The city transformed its public housing into a mix of higher rent and subsidized apartments, and it caught the eye of Richmond city leaders who want to duplicate the plan here, with a goal of reducing poverty and crime while creating jobs and improved education.
I would say that it is successful in removing blight.
But some Atlanta residents living in these plush environments will tell you looks are deceiving.
Part of me went down.
Bishop Roosevelt Cates spent 16 years in Atlanta's public housing and was one of the people transferred into the new plan.
We don't have the activity, feel like emotion like in prison.
Ever since the city of Atlanta moved Cates into his new home, he says there's been one problem after another.
The units here, we don't have bathtubs in here for seniors. We had our own association. We had more freedom than we here because there they had a social worker.
Cates questioned the lack of security and broken promises.
Well, anybody can come in here.
He claims the new building has ineffective fire alarms, and sometimes firefighters cannot find residents in distress. Does that scare you?
Sure, it scares you because number one, if I got real sick and they couldn't find me, I'd be dead.
And Cates,
I can't even understand the reasoning.
Is not alone.
We've lost a lot of seniors from the community because they could go other places and get the amenities that they were promised.
After private developers took over, Collins says they changed the city's landscape, and they also took away the people's trust.
If it had been my job, it would have been, constantly put in front of them that this is what you said you were going to do.
Going to this mixed income model.
Renee Glover is the brainchild behind the multi-million-dollar Atlanta public housing transformation.
We wanted to create a healthy community design where families could be part of mainstream America.
And Glover says the plan worked.
What we've seen is that there has not been any failure. People are in fact aspiring and wanting to do great things.
Matthew Cardinale says it's been anything but.
People look at what the Atlanta Housing Authority and what Renee Glover did as if it's some shining national example, but it's really a national holocaust.
Cardinale, editor of the Atlanta Progressive News Service, says the concept has failed.
The demolitions in Atlanta were a disaster.
Cardinale helped many residents fight to keep their homes.
They put a pretty picture on it and say, oh, we're so concerned about these people. We want them to get out of poverty. But the result is you're just moving them from one place to another.
I asked Glover, did she anticipate so much resistance?
Change is always met with resistance because people don't know what's going to be on the other side. And the resistance in its own way makes the whole process stronger and better.
Not according to community activist DeWanda Farmer.
They were happy living in public housing.
She says some people became victims of the process.
20% of the people who lived in public housing were evicted without benefit of relocation.
Allegations that we took to Glover.
That's absolutely not correct. Everyone received assistance.
At that point,
well, let's talk about this.
Glover's PR person tried to stop the interview.
Is that on?
Yeah.
Turn it up, please.
We kept the camera rolling, and Glover let us continue the interview.
So that,
but her answers did not satisfy her critics.
They want to make it about the things that the public can grasp onto, like crime and concentration of poverty and all of these things. But what it's really about is developers wanting to develop.
According to Atlanta's housing authority, crime went down about 90% after these new homes were built. But one expert will tell you that's debatable.
It's a mixed bag.
Dr. Bruce Seaman has done extensive research on Atlanta's new housing model and its impact on crime.
Crime rates have gently been dropping across the city for many years.
According to Atlanta's police department, when the city demolished public housing, total crimes were nearly cut in half, just under 70,000 in 1995 to a little over 36,000 in 2010. And violent crimes decreased even more, to nearly 15,000 in 1995 and just under 5,000 15 years later. But other than crime dropping, Dr. Seaman says he's seen no real evidence that demolishing public housing has been good for businesses or homeowners.
Some of the local businesses are not exactly great businesses. They're fast food restaurants. We still do see I think a more questionable impact in terms of property values nearby.
I can tell you without any hesitation that the quality of the housing opportunities today are vastly better. And families are, by and large, very happy.
But Bishop Roosevelt Cates wishes that were the case.
I had to make the best of this. You have to let Almighty God handle this thing.